Hello class, this is Dr. J here for Unit 1, Discussion 1. I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of this discussion thread. So hopefully by now, before you started this discussion, you have done your pre-reading, which should have been chapters 1 and chapters 2, and also any other supplemental information that was within your course shell to look over before you started your discussions. The discussion 1 question, which is Six Sigma, represents a performance improvement methodology that seeks to find and eliminate causes of defects and errors, reduce cycle times and cost of operations, improve productivity, better meets the customer expectations, and achieves higher asset utilization and returns on investment in manufacturing and service processes. So we're asking you to explain why senior leaders would be interested in implementing Six Sigma in their respective organizations. Also, how can Six Sigma positively impact key business measures such as quality, productivity, cost, and profitability? And based on current research, describe at least 2 challenges leaders may face when preparing to implement Six Sigma into their organization. So going through your reading, you should have at least at the very minimum got a good definition of what Six Sigma is and how it correlates to performance improvement methodology within organizations. The one thing you must realize is you are trying to solve a problem within a process. So think of it as if you're building a house, and there are steps to building a house. Steps would be, number 1, digging a trench or digging a hole. If you're building a basement, then you are building your foundation, then you're putting up studs, then you're putting in electrical, then you're putting in drywall. But each of those steps probably have intersteps. When you're putting in electrical work, you probably have to drill into the studs to run your electrical wire. So there are steps into each other steps that go into building a house. There may be times when there's a process within that step that can be eliminated to either 1, speed up the process, or 2, make the process more efficient. So contractors have to look at each of these steps to see what can be eliminated or what process is currently in these steps that is presenting a problem to finish either 1, just preventing us from constructing this house on time, or constructing a more sturdy house, or whatever the end result is, but something is causing a problem. Maybe they're losing money because it takes them a long time to complete that house. So there's a process, there's a step within that construction time frame that's preventing them from building this house in a timely manner. So they look at what's within those steps to either take out a step, enhance a step, and that's a performance improvement area that they have to look at. So one of the things you have to look at is something that's called a DMAIC. And in your reading, you'll understand what a DMAIC is. And it's D as in David, M as in Mary, A as in Apple, I as in India, C as in Charlie. Now, some people may call it, something else. I say DMAIC. But you're going to define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So you look into that and read into that and understand, how does that all correlate with Six Sigma principles? Also, you have to know that Six Sigma is based on statistical measures that equates to a certain amount of errors or defects. You will read read through your chapters and you will know what that statistical number is. The core philosophy of Six Sigma is based on some key concepts. So understand that when you're answering these discussion questions. Also, know that when Six Sigma first came out, it came out a very long time ago. But there was one organization that really pioneered the concept of Six Sigma. If you could, find out who that organization is and, put it within your response, that would be greatly appreciated. But there was one organization that really pioneered the concept of Six Sigma. So one of the things that your course objectives for this week is, number one, defining your performance improvement. Also summarizing Six Sigma principles that promote leadership interest for organizational implementation. And also explaining Six Sigma, its evolution and its advantages to an organization. And this is important to discuss because there are many organizations out there that may lose profits because of certain processes that they are currently using within an organization. So some organizations have Lean Six Sigma teams that actually look through the organizational processes. When I was working at Boeing, we had a Lean Six Sigma team, and that's all they did was looked at Boeing's processes to see how efficient and effective they were, to look at our profit margins, to understand that are these processes put in place to help our profitability. They look at all that. If there's something within there, they measure and analyze all of that and make suggestions on whether something can be enhanced, removed, or whatever the case may be. But there was a team that actually, did that function. So its relevance to professional experience is highly important, and there's a relevance there because I believe that everything you do is a process. And whether it's just like I said, if you're doing housework, something in the yard, in your career, something that you want to improve, you take a look at the process, you take a look at the steps of those processes, and you analyze how effective those steps are. So good luck with your first discussion, and I am looking forward to reading your responses and engaging with you all. So best of luck, and I will see you throughout the week.